me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming.
Your environment is what shapes your future. We like to think that willpower alone determines your success, that if we are disciplined enough, we can achieve anything no matter the circumstances. While determination is powerful, it's not the whole story. The truth is, your environment silently sculpts your habits, your mindset, and ultimately your future depends on that. Jim Rohn famously said, "You are the average of the five people you spend the most time with." It's not just the people though, it's the places, the conversations, the routines, the media you consume, and the energy you allow around you. All of it works like an invisible hand guiding you toward who you will become. Your environment is more than a backdrop. It's a constant force of influence. It's your home, workspace, and social circles that encourage growth. You will naturally lean towards better choices if you have the better choices around. If they encourage laziness, negativity, or distraction, you will find yourself battling uphill every day, and every day will feel like a struggle towards being better for yourself. In Atomic Habits, James Clear explains that your environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. If you keep junk food in sight, you will eat more of it. If you keep books within reach, you will read more. If you spend time with people who are constantly learning, you will feel inspired to grow. So, the key is to keep the things around you that you want to be like. The people around you reflect back your possibilities or your limits. Being in a group where complaining is the norm will normalize negativity. Being among dreamers and doers will normalize ambition and effort. So, being around the people that you are is the norm that you follow. In the compound effect, Darren Hardy writes, "Your environment will eat your willpower for breakfast." This means that even the strongest personal discipline can be worn down by a toxic environment over time. But in a positive, inspiring environment, your growth becomes almost effortless because the default behaviors around you align with your goals. Identity is not formed in isolation. The conversations you hear, the opportunities you are exposed to, and the values that are modeled for you, all of these sink into your subconscious and become part of your worldview. So, if you grow up in a family that values education, you're more likely to value learning. If you are surrounded by entrepreneurs, you'll start to think like one. You'll start to think to develop something. You will follow the dream of becoming someone individually on your own. If you follow your friends and if your friends prioritize fitness, exercise becomes something very normal for you. It's not something that is done for being extraordinary or something by some special people. You that will become just your normal thing. So, one of the most powerful things you can do for your future is to intentionally design your environment to support the person you want to become. And that might mean that you should be surrounding yourself with the people who inspire you instead of the people who are draining you, instead of the people that you just leak your energy or just drain you so much that are filled with negativity. So, organizing your space so that your goals are supported. That's like you're building the environment in such a way that supports the life that you want to have, the future that you want to have. It's like you're building your dream life on the environment that you live in. You have to create that kind of environment. You have to support the environment in such a way that supports your dream life, that supports your future life. If you have that kind of goals, then you have to have that kind of space too. So having healthy food visible is like the distraction, is like the junk being hidden out of the sight. Choosing books over endless scrolling, choosing podcasts that are valuable, that are there for you to learn something, and the content that challenges you and uplifts you in such a way that builds your future so much better. Spending time in places that spark creativity and ambition inside you. As Charles Duhigg wrote in The Power of Habit, we can't change a habit unless you change the environment in which it lives. Your environment isn't only physical, it's also a mental and emotional thing. The information you consume online is part of your environment. The tone of your self talk is part of your environment. The conversations you allow yourself to participate in shape the mental climate you live in every day. So, every minute detail of your life is actually part of your environment that is dependent for building your future self, that is dependent for building the better you, that is dependent for building you into someone that you look up to being the best. If you regularly expose yourself to uplifting ideas, kind words, and constructive challenges, you are essentially planting seeds for a brighter future. It's like you are allowing yourself into that environment so that you can become the better self. Because sometimes staying in a certain environment means your growth slows or even stops. Not because you have lost potential, but because that environment keeps you small, that keeps you limited, that keeps you dependent. Toxic workplaces, draining relationships, or even cluttered, chaotic spaces can hold you back without you realizing it. Because these things are in your life, these are part of your life in such an unintentional way that you can't even pinpoint what thing is withholding you of becoming someone that you have the potential of. Growth sometimes requires physical or mental stepping away from environments that no longer serve you, even if it's uncomfortable. You don't have to wait for your environment to change on its own. You can start shaping it today. Every object you keep, every person you interact with, every piece of content you consume is a vote for the future you're building. As Dr. Benjamin Hardy wrote in Willpower Doesn't Work, if you want to achieve your goals, don't rely on willpower. Instead, create an environment that makes success inevitable. Your environment is either your anchor or your launchpad. Choose wisely because where you live, work, and think today is quietly creating the person you will be tomorrow.